live on a thirsty Thursday, a Jupiter day, a day of love and expansion. Very gassy is what it is. It's a gas day. Put the gas, hit the gas. Alright, hit the brakes. What's up, what's up? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, Archangel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated, here on a Thirsty Thursday. In order to keep up with me, you would have definitely had to catch my video last night about accessing your light body and what I posted on my community page. I didn't post a short last night, but I still have some really great ones in there, so you should scroll get through there. Despite the day being my favorite day, and it's like a perfect day, I am like fully fucking just full of happiness, I have to start on a dark note. But I guess as the dark goddess, it's, you know, poetic. I posted this morning all kinds of goofy shit. Do we need the Liliths? What am I looking for, God? Let me just sit here with all of this. Let me sit with the universe, just hug my freaking bag of freaking, my big old bag of cards. Hug God. First thing I posted was Russ. Let's start backwards and move forwards. Russ, God, Jesus Christ. What did I see? Russ posted all this shit that one of his songs was going viral on Shazam. Can somebody tell me what a Shazam is? Well, he's very excited about it, and he goes on to brag about it. And then he fucking comes out with this other post saying that he's like, you know, he feels like he can't be touched right now, and he's so creatively inspired, and blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna puke. This is my puke bag. I'm literally hugging my bag of freaking of cards, and I'm gonna puke in it thinking of you. Why can't you just be happy for yourself without, you know what I mean? It's always got to be, look at me. Look at what I've done. Look what my song did. And then you say some stupid shit like, I feel like nobody could touch me. Really? I feel like any rapper that walks into the room, you're going to be about that small. You swear, bro. You spend all this time pumping yourself up in the dark, swearing that you're dropping anthems, and this is a heater, and this is the best work you ever did. Dude, we saw the best work you did. We saw your little rap song. It was good. It was the best work you ever did, but it didn't move the fucking scale. Punk-ass Libra. God. It's just never ending, bro. This is what I mean about I don't really care if you fucking get this or not. I've watched people that I've given all my time and energy and teachings and tears to that are still fucking little baby losers like this, that are still begging for their spot, the #1 spot. What were you, 22 on Shazam? Keep posting. Maybe you'll make it up to, you know, something else. Might make it to that grinder. I can't stand you, Russell. Do you guys know someone like that that's always like, look at me, look at me, look at me? And if it wasn't just him, it's girls like that too. It's gross as fuck, bro. It makes you want to throw up. Look at me, look at me. I'm better than you. I'm the best. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Please look at me, look at me. It's disgusting. I can't stand that look at me type shit, bro. Look at me now. Look at me now. I need to look through there. My favorite part about these posts, bro, oh, it was in your story, is there's always Busta Rhyme dropping those flames. He's your biggest fan. And as I said in the post, none of your music has ever hit mainstream. What are we looking at? Your $1 million song that you paid for with Ed Sheeran, are you entertained? Not nearly. You made $12 million. That's what he is sharing. I made $12 million on my ticket sales. Yeah, how much of that did you pay to Big Sean? And what about the girl that you went on a whole tour with and never posted once? Never posted once, whoever this female was. Never thanked her for coming on tour with her. You didn't have her up there doing shots with you. You're such a user and abuser. So if I didn't have enough of that, I'd hit send and I'd go downstairs. My day, I just want to show you, it's like, ugh. Let's talk about these demons. That's the card I'm really holding in my hand right now. I go downstairs, and I'm like, there's Morgan, and there's Jude. And I'm trying to kind of just walk by them, because I'm not that nice in the mornings. I try to just stay to myself in the mornings until don't speak to me until I speak to you. Don't speak to me, bro. Don't talk to me, bro. Don't fucking talk to me until I talk to you, kind of shit is my attitude. And Morgan, of all people, knows this. Anyways, I'm trying to walk by, but Jude's kind of teary-eyed, and I'm like, well, I kind of, I wave at them, and they bring me in. And I'm like looking at Jude, and I'm like, oh, you're going through some healing. It's like, hey, I just got to tell you again, because I'm being haunted by this Holy Spirit, that you need to speak with your father. That came up in my readings yesterday. Morgan's like, yeah, she gets those. And I was like, yeah. And Morgan's like, I was like, well, I'm going to, and I started to walk away. They're like, what's up? I was like, I don't know. You guys are having a thing, and I'm not very nice in the mornings. This is literally what I said. She's like, oh, but yet you're being nice, and I'm in high heels. And I look over, and I look down, and she's wearing sparkling high heels. I didn't realize, I didn't make no difference what she was wearing. She was wearing a pair of jeans and a long sleeve shirt. You know what I mean? And I didn't notice it until she's like, I'm like, why are you wearing high heels? I'm a kid, and it's first thing in the morning. What the fuck are you wearing high heels for? She said, I've got this housing appointment. Okay. I'm not nice in the morning, bro. And I'm already lost my nicety towards her to begin with. And she proceeds to say, just like, my worker said I should wear a dress. I was like, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to look good for it. It's like, I don't want them to say, okay, and then they see me and they're like, they turn me away. You know what I mean? And I was like, so you're trying to impress them with your high heels? And I look over at Jude, and she's like, nah, I just, I was like, what did I tell her? I don't know, bro. I was like, so you're trying to be something you're not. Like you did with me. You're trying to be something you're not. She said, you're projecting on me. That's not what I said. I said, I'm projecting your solar plexus, your low self-esteem and insecurity. You don't have the confidence to believe you can get this, so you have to pretend to be something you're not. And it turns into an argument, and I just kind of walk off. She said something, and she stormed off into the building in her little high heels. And when she did, I was like, yeah, go fucking back to your fucking circus tent and go do a hit with your kid. By that time, I was done. And that's because I keep it all in, and I'm saying it here, and I haven't said it to her face, so it's going to start coming out naturally. And then I was like, fuck. So then I went into my car, and I did my thing. And after, I dropped off my daughter. Car is okay so far. There's Diana. I was like, Diana, I fucking tore up fucking Morgan this morning. She's like, I saw her, dude. I saw her in the middle of the morning, like 1 o'clock, being weird. I was like, really? You should have seen what I saw this morning. It's like, she came out here in high heels. She said, why? I was like, and at that very moment, I was like, I tore her up right in front of Jude. And at that moment, here comes Jude. It's like, Jude, it's like, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. That's all she said to me, and that's twice. I was like, I appreciate you, because you're there every time I do this. I was like, I know I'm appearing as a whole bitch to you. Every time I come out here, I just tear somebody up, and you're right there to see it. She's like, nah, bro, I was going to say something right before you. She was already bothering me. I was going to say something right before you did about the fucking high heels. She goes into it and shit. And it was really whatever. I'm not being nice to you. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling anyone. You're actually losing full control right here, dummy. Right? And that's what Jude said. She's like, if you're going to put on high heels, maybe put on, a shirt, a fucking dress. Or do your toenails. Maybe some makeup. I was like, maybe just get some sleep before an appointment. And not try to, pretend to be this. So she's going to go all blown up to some fucking housing appointment where she's talking louder than everything. Her eyes, she hasn't slept, blah, 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 blah. And she thinks that her high heels are going to get her in there. I've never seen her wear high heels. I told you, when she wears makeup, it's weird. It's like something's going on. And then she started putting fucking braids in her hair. I was like, something's going on. You can see when people are super out of their character. But then that's what I told, why am I holding these? What's in here? My ISIS cards. Okay, fine. We'll take that. I told Diana that. I was like, bro, here's where it is. I feel like she fucking lied to me. I was like, I feel like she pretended to be something around me that she really isn't. She pretended to be recovering. She pretended to be a good mother. She pretended that she was being a good person, and she pretended to be spiritual. She put on this whole fucking act to be a friend with me. And then I watch her switch up with everyone, and she's, you know what I mean? She'll be whatever people want for her to be accepted. I was like, damn. She might not tell you, she might not lie out of her mouth, but she's a walking lie. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. And that's how my day started. Was with these two fakers, bro. And I'm like, you know, ugh. So, everybody has their behavioral issues, and all of us are just to recognize, first off, these are God's children. They're out here acting like whole ass kids. Russ is out here like a child begging for fucking attention from anybody that will give it to him. She's out here being a fucking child. All of us are God's children. You look at all of them. The point is to face our inner child and heal it. Okay? You want to talk about your inner child? Probably not. This is my Bible. This talks about all the stages of healing. When I got this book, I acted like this book made my life go crazy. I was like, this book should have had a warning, bro. As soon as you open the pages, your life just fucking crumbles. It's not true. It's a guide to what's about to happen. But I thought it was the book. I thought that I brought these things into my life. You know what I mean? Being Christian, I brought all this, voodoo, hoodoo shit, and I was fucking up my life, but it wasn't really the truth. In essence, I really am the dark goddess, and I really reclaimed it, so this book was definitely meant for me. But it teaches you, and this is how I've taught, most of my twin flames. There's the poor ones like them, and then you can look at someone as like Marshall, who's been with me through all these chapters, who's made visual, transformational, differences in his life, right? So it works. And along with that are some cards that I got with it. Off the top of my head, Russ has always been in Famanach. But I turned to Baba Yaga's healing ritual. Let's talk about this. Who's Baba Yaga? Well, it's a whole story about loss. It's a whole story about... Okay. Baba Yaga were most likely demonized by Christianity, stripped the goddess of her divinity, and she became a horrific-looking, angry old crone. But we can use her beautiful and younger portrayal to symbolize her regenerative aspects, along with the ugly old woman aspect as a symbolization of death. Therefore, all rising Slavic witch is a goddess of both death and rebirth. Here's an old tale about Baba Yaga. Oh no, I don't want to tell her about Vasilisa. That's the longest story ever. Hold on. Vasilisa success. Messages from Baba Yaga. There's a part of you that yearns to die, to be rid of what's gone before you. Yet you hold on to death so tightly for fear of great loss. I've seen you clinging to your dreams, your goals, and wishes until they almost choke you. But negating self-belief, new projects, and ideas out of fear of new birth invites me in to destroy everything you hold dearly. Letting go is the only way to fulfillment. So too is taking action for yourself instead of relying on others. It's the only way to truly get the job done. It will bring the confidence and self-sufficiency It brings the confidence and self-sufficiency provides into your life. Let's see. Take ownership of your actions and independent steps towards self-sufficiency, and I will help you flourish. But remain in the victim by wallowing in self-pity, and I shall gobble you up. Page 77. The Dark Goddess expects you to be responsible for yourself and self-sufficient. When your world is solely dependent on others for happiness, When you cannot make big decisions without asking friends for their opinion, or feel uncomfortable doing things on your own without support, then learning how to establish your individuality is vital for your inner strength and independence. Marshall, I'm seeing you and your little crew. And that's where it is. It's like, you know what I mean? They stay in their little cliques. You're dependent on the outside to establish yourself. Self-sufficiency allows you to embrace your own thoughts and take your own actions without fully relying on anyone else or being affected by the opinions or validations of others. It's not all easy when you go through a dark night of the soul, for you are blinded by circumstance. Let me start over. The song that he's bragging about that's going viral on Shazam goes like this. Boo-hoo childhood trauma. Fucked up dad and a fucked up mama taught me that love means drama. Now yet, he'll walk around parading around his boo-hoo childhood trauma, which is his fucked up dad and his fucked up mama. And he wants you to believe that he knows what love is from all that fucked up trauma. So then he comes out with a song before that. Oh God, my love language is Apple Pay. I love to give my cash away. He tells on himself, but then he wants you to not hear it. And then he says, I'm all full of myself. You are so full of yourself there. When your foundations were shaken to their very core and you faced the first unexpected stage of surrender and change to welcome in your dark night of the soul, you would have come across a long path of winds through the forest deep, on which you found, and that's where I have Steve, Todd, Mike Studd. He's another one. He was the first one to go deep into the journey. He probably hit it before I did. We hit at the same time, bro. Just different journeys. He had his whole fucking foundation ripped out from underneath him. The difference between them and me is I surrendered it, bro. God really never took anything. I saw it coming and I gave it up. He told me to sell my car. He told me to give up my house. He told me to give up my music. He told me to give up my blankets. Everything. Stop wearing makeup. Just give all this up. Give it all up. And you do. You're stripped of yourself. If I don't have my clothes, then I don't look like me. If I'm not wearing makeup, then I don't look like me. If I don't have my house, then, you know, what do I have? If I don't have a job, then who am I? If I'm none of these things that made me me, and that's the stripping of you, where you find out who you really are outside of these things. Yes, the awareness is you feel like you're nothing. That's the ego's death. This belief that you're nothing without this person, place, or thing. It sounds so pathetic, guys, but when I lost my hats, my matching outfits, my everything, I lost me. I sat there at Mr. Plum's house with nothing more than trash bags of what was left of my life. Who am I now? I had to find me. There was nothing to go back to. I had to find out who I really was outside of all this shit I put myself in. Who was I outside of that house? How much could I survive? Who, you know, what? And that's where it was, is I would say things and I didn't understand why I talked like that. I didn't understand why I thought like that. And that's where I started, you know, it's a self-discovery journey. Who are you really? So then, you know, Mike Studd, he lost everything. I saw it happening before he got home. I told Russ about it. I was very psychic even in the beginning. I saw the visions. He lost everything. His closest friend, his best friend, had embezzled all his money and all kinds of shit, everything. Took everything from him, bro. He came home poor. He literally lost everything, bro. He was living on a houseboat with, I think, his brother or some shit, him and his dog. He had to rebuild his entire career. He lost everything. And he's very proud of himself because of what he's created, what his fans have helped him, you know. He literally went from nothing to something bigger than what he was before. And it's built on love, respect, and truth. He had to lose everything and everyone and sort through it all. He had to become, very aware of where he had given all power to everybody else and how they were running his business and his life. He started looking through the financials. This motherfucker was eating good. He's like, dude, I eat Chipotle every day. He was going out to fucking 5-star restaurants, first class seats. My whole fucking life was giving him this unbelievable image that I didn't even have. And he doesn't. He paid for somebody else. He paid for everybody else to be happy. Now, as you see him, I see Russ. Russ sits there and he pays for everybody else's success while he just sits there diddling away in front of the computer thinking he's hot shit. It's some shit. But yeah, we got Baba Yaga. We lost everything, and we had to figure out who we were without that and discover what our true talents were. Who our real friends were. How fucking dumb, how ignorant we were to, what was going on around us. And as much as I say that, it wasn't just him. We just hit it the hardest. They all came in. Everyone hit it. You heard what happened to Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, but he's one of my 12. We just don't talk about Bruno. It's a joke. He got hit hard. You saw what happened to Lewis. You saw how NF disappeared. Fucking Royce fell to the he disappeared. Nothing. He can't pick himself back up. You saw what happened to fucking Kanye. That's why Bobby said, I don't want to get caught in the wake of all these men. He's watched them fall. It's like, I don't want to fall like them. Bro, you're falling. You think you're standing up, bro. You're below all of us. For reals. In the essence, you think you're holding on to something real? Wake up, loser. And that's what it is. It's like, when this stage comes, it's your foundation. I realized that my kingdom stood on sand, and it literally gets washed away from beneath you. But I gave mine up. But it was, that tower that I lived in, that apartment, was my hell. And I worked hard to keep that hell, bro. It was even hell for my children, and that's the fucked up part, because I did it for them to be happy. I sacrificed, for them to be happy, and they weren't even happy. I fucking worked hard for hell, to keep hell going, to keep it pretty, to keep it full. Yeah. But yeah, when you lose things, after a relationship, you're like, who am I without this person? I'm so used to doing everything with this person. It's all about this person. I've lost myself. Anybody that's ever gone through a divorce, you're lost. You don't know who you are anymore. You've only been this person for them. And that's all you're programmed to do, is be that person again. Because that's your norm. I know that as being a wife. That's all I was. It's like, I'm not. That's what I was trained to be. You lose your job, you're like, fuck, I'm nobody. I don't even know who, Like, what do I tell people I am? You find your identity in these stupid things. And when you sit there, and that's where I really hated fucking Wolfman to say that. He's like, if you want to fucking, you want to strip down into a sack and give up all your belongings and go live in the woods, as a monk, all glory to you. But me, I have an ego. I need success in my life. That was the moment it all changed, and you can see because I remembered every single word you said. You fucking mocked me so hard for what God did with my life. You mocked Job. You mocked a fucking prophet and the prophet's way. To make a profit on yourself, dude. And look at you. And your insecurities, hiding behind your little hoodie, going bald, losing your fucking balls. Don't even know what you're chasing anymore. Welcome to the awakening, I told you. Face yourself, little boy. You're so powerful, right? Look at yourself, Oscar. And that's what this is. It's a self-reflecting journey, dude. As I look at you, I see me, but when are you going to see you? Russ, when are you going to look at yourself, bro? You're too busy projecting this version of yourself out into the world that you think people want, instead of just dealing with the parts of you that nobody wants to deal with. You try to go back to what you were, and that's where I see it. It's like, when I came back, I tried to load up, everywhere I went, I tried to reestablish my identity by what? A job and a house, which were the basic foundations of, you know what I mean? I needed to rebuild my identity right away. That's what I wanted to do. I was still taking it apart. How was I going to rebuild it, taking it apart? And as soon as I would do it, God would get pissed and he'd move me. Every time I try to build myself up, he has to take me somewhere, because he's not done breaking me apart. There's you know what I mean? One bad apple will ruin the orchard. You've got to tear this all apart. You have to pull the roots of this completely down. It's got to be good soil, or nothing will grow. That piece will poison it. So I just want to tell you, it's a huge part of the dark night of the soul, and it's usually the beginning. A tower. How many? As many as it takes to strip you. They keep stripping you. It's the beginning of, that's why they pulled out the LILITH cards. Got it. It's the beginning of the magnum opus. It's a name for what this is. It's called the alchemical transformational process, where you go from dark to light. It's the first one. It's called calcination, initiation by fire. It means it's an upheaval. It's the tower card. It rocks your foundation to where you are forced to make some changes. The problem is nobody wants to change. So when this shit breaks down, they run to the store and they piece it back together. And then it keeps breaking and they keep putting it back together. And that's what it is you can't even get through the first tower. You have so many pieces of you to break down, and you keep holding on to the first part. And that's where it is. Some people will get down, and that's where I lost Marshall. Marshall got pretty far until we got to that part. All right, Marshall. Pock says you have to leave your friends now. No, I can't leave my friends. Pock says you have to leave them now. He's telling you why. And he showed them. He showed all of us, for his entertainment, I suppose, that these motherfuckers ain't shit, and that he's been holding their dick for too long. He needs to step away and become himself again and stop making them bigger. And that's where it is we all have a whole crew of people that we fucking care more about than ourselves, and we fucking take care of. That's that loyalty to these people, and that's what I posted yesterday. Stop believing in people that don't believe in you. Stop investing in people that don't invest in you. I've seen it 3 times this month, and it's new. If she can keep it going, that's a good behavior. Russ's sister has posted, but then again, she was on tour with him all fucking summer. She posted some of his work. Again, there were pictures of her, but for the first time ever, she supported her brother. If his family would support him, he wouldn't be here begging for the support from other people. He needs your support to support his family. Totally twisted and delusional. And that's what happened with Marshall. Marshall came out. He's supposed to be focused on his project. He is releasing an album, a very good album. He's supposed to be working on him. Instead, he decides that he's going to go to fucking London and open his brand new album for a gin and juice campaign for his homies. Liquor in a pop can. Mr. Sobriety is going to use his album to support alcoholism. It started problems between us. It started problems with the divine. You are being an egotistical bastard, and you're not seeing what's holding you back. So now we have to point it out. After that happened, he did some, promotion with Liquid Death, and I didn't know it was water, and I went way berserk on him. I was like, now you're just a fucking poster child for fucking liquor? You just want everyone liquored up? And I started talking about his daughter always having a cup. I was like, and your grandkid? And then I played that song. While my grandkid's on my lap and she's out getting smashed. I smashed him with his own words during that time. Then about 2 months later, I saw it in 7-Eleven that it was like some kind of tea or water. It's like, oh, well, I meant what I said. I apologize for my ignorance, but I meant what I fucking said. And that's it. Can you really apologize and take it? No, you can't take your words back. You really can't. You can ask for forgiveness for your ignorance, but you can't take your words back. I'm not taking that back. I meant what the fuck I said. And so, yeah, it causes problems. And there's, that's just it. There's so many stages of this. God's going to make you realize this person's a problem. He brought me to her, and that's it. He'll bring you to the problem, through the problem, and tell you to leave the... And he's done this with everyone. You look at Bobby. Jesus Christ. All of you. I sat there. Why did you let me invest my time and energy into these fucking useless humans? You all are. You're absolutely useless to me. It was God's plan. But I sat there. It's like, why did you make me think that he, especially this guy, Russ, we can go through the whole list. Why did you bring me to Wolfman, make me get excited on something I can't have because it's so fucking distorted? Why did you make me think that Morgan was a good person? Why did you allow me to have a relationship with Morgan if you knew she was never going to be able to hold up a relationship? That's where I get in these modes. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, God. And your stupid fucking children, too. Get on with it. Bring on the next fucking lesson. Realistically. I mean, why else did he bring you here? He brought us together so I could teach you a lesson and so I could learn a lesson from you. Can we move on now? It's really terrible. But you're going to learn that. He's going to keep telling you to move on. Walk away. Walk away. Let go. Walk away. I am not doing my job if I don't tell you for the rest of your life every day or once a week or however long they tell me. Leave the shit that's no longer serving you. Leave it. Those friends that are no longer good for you. Leave them alone. Your family, no longer good for you. Leave them alone. This apartment, no longer good for you. Everything is no longer good for you. Why are you carrying around clothes from your 20s? You're holding on to baggage, bro. You have the memory. You don't need to hold on to something. You want to remember it, and all it does is bring up sadness because that's not who you are anymore. Let go. I did that too. He had me burn all my paperwork and all my pictures. Really? Yeah, that one. I thought I had this, I'm serious, I have a video of it. I had this fucking, those tin buckets that you get for Christmas with the popcorn? He had me put inside of there a sage, a whole bunch of it was a sage or something, and he had me put all my documents, my marriage decree, all of my awards, all my pictures, everything, all that paperwork, where you guys keep all your important paperwork and shit. I had songs that I had written. I had, all my books that I had written music in, which makes sense. He knew I'm about to lose my house. I don't need any of this paperwork going anywhere. You know what I mean? That's not true. They got a hold of all of our fucking documents, bro. I had a special thing that had it all, which was our birth certificates and our social security cards. And they got it all. Let's hope they didn't. God's better. Let's just hope that they didn't. But it wasn't in my possession when I left that house, and that was kind of freaky. But in that sense, I had lost everything. All my TVs, my tires, I lost everything at this point. So it's like, what was I really needing? I needed those documents, bro. That's what sucked. I need my green cards. That took forever, dude. That's so stupid to get those things. Anyways, going back to it, yeah. He's going to keep stripping you down to the fabric of your being so you can see who you truly are underneath all this shit. Let's move on. When your foundations were shaken to their very core and you faced your first unexpected stage of surrender and change to welcome the dark night of the soul, you have come across a long path that winds through the deep forest on which you found a strange-looking home of the dark goddess Baba Yaga. That's not really true. What this just talks about, it's trying to give you something scary in your head. You don't really need the vision. Baba Yaga calls you to tread carefully and draw near in awe and reverence with a sense of fear. A great courage is required if you wish to look for Baba Yaga. There's all these stories about it and shit. Let's see. For she is the harsh and devouring old lady. She has little time for those who are not willing to embrace death and change it brings, and does not believe in handing everything you ask for to you on a plate. Instead, she will make you work until you are self-sufficient enough not to be reliant on anyone else. And that's where it is. It's like there's no one to turn to. You used to be able to, you know what I mean, lean on people and stuff. There's nothing to turn on. You have to learn how to rebuild yourself from scratch. And that's what happened to Mike. He had to learn how to rebuild himself completely. He had, just like me, he had nothing more than the clothes on his back. There were some people there, they couldn't really help him. He had to figure this out. And he couldn't move on until the job was done. He rebuilt himself, but I think, you know, in rebuilding himself, he kept the spiritual foundation, but he's not fully there, and that's where it is. It's like you still have a lot to learn, Padawan. You need a lot. There's a lot to let go of. He feels that since he lost so much, then it was all done. It was just, you know, a one and done. Nah, bro. I wish. That's where I turned to Kobe. When will it be done? When will you stop? You know what I mean? When will the lessons stop coming? Anyways, she does not offer quick fixes and does not give a pretty name in the real and lasting result that comes from hard work and tenacity. We can easily say Baba Yaga, or we can say Kobe. He will prepare you to face, accept, and embrace the changing cycles of life, for he understands that you must die to the old in order to be reborn. His lesson is to embrace the cycles of life and be grateful. I'm not going to say Baba Yaga, I'm going to say Kobe. Kobe urges you to seek him, to be thankful, and to have gratitude for what the earth provides. Let's see. Well, it goes on to tell the different stories. Here it is. And this is where it is. Baba Yaga is also known as Baba Den, Jezi Baba, and the goddess terms can be likened to Kali, the Hindu goddess of death and rebirth. Like Baba Yaga, Kali is most feared goddess for her similar aspects of death and the change she brings when... I had my Kali cards in my hand. When it is she who removes the ego and liberates the soul from the ever-ending cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And that's what happened. So Sangaru, he tried to challenge me, and I told him I was Kali. And then he started watching. He's like, she really is. That's exactly what I am. I teach you all of this. He did challenge it. He challenged my spiritual authority when I came in telling him that he wasn't, you know what I mean, walking in the light according to his, you know what I mean, religion. And they sent me. It was really hard. Krishna trying to get, it's the funniest, it's one of the funniest downloads, them trying to get through to me. I was like, I don't know what you're saying. Alright, let's see. Baba Yaga has skulls placed on the fencing around her garden. Kali wears a garland of skulls around her neck. These dark goddesses understand that we are beings of spirit and not flesh, and experience liberation when we become unattached from our bodies and the material world of ego. Both of these dark girls see the skulls as trophies, having fleshly liberated their aspect. Wow. That makes sense, because I was like, this is me in another form, the destruction. And in my arms holds all of the answers, right? Very dangerous, but I'm always, you know, that's the Queen of Swords, off with their head. We need to humble you. Bitch, be humble. Cut their head off. Don't worry, another one will grow. That's your ego. Ever-ending ego grows back up. It blows back up all the time. You can put a bag over it like Kanye, but you can still hear it inside of there. And that's what it is. You have to lose the brain. You have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. All right, emotional development. As you look at the natural world of signs of life, death, and rebirth are all around. The cycles of days and nights, waxing and waning of the moon and sun. I'm supposed to tell you something. I saw it in a post, but I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to tell you. So this dark moon, this black moon, is actually in the Bible. Mark, what was it? 33, 24, something. Give me a second. It's proclaimed that the sun will go red or go black, and the moon will have no light. Hold on, let me get my Bible out. Matthew, Mark. What was it? Maybe it was 23. I just remember an alignment of numbers. 21, 15. Okay, couldn't have been that. Give me a second. 11:23 is what's on top of here. Maybe it was 11:24. Give me a second. It's in here. I saw it yesterday in a post. I was like, that's scary. 11:22. Peter said, Rabbi, the fig tree which... Oh, shit. This is what I talked about yesterday. The lessons of the withered fig tree. Now in the morning, as they passed by, they saw a fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, remembering, said to him, Rabbi, which he's talking to, Jesus. Rabbi means, that was what Jesus was. He was a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi. I don't know how you guys don't get this. Look, the fig tree which you cursed has withered away. So Jesus answered and said to them, have faith in God. For surely I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and cast it into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Did you hear that? Jesus told you the power of your words right there and your manifestations. Listen again. For surely, and this is Mark 11:23. I told you there was something about numbers. There was like 1, 2, 3. Do you hear it? 1, 2, 3. For surely, I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea. Meaning you stand before your problem and say, I cast you out. And does not doubt his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you will receive them, and you will have them. Power manifestation right there. Speak it, believe it, and so shall it be. You repeat your prayers because you don't believe he heard you. You don't believe it's coming. You don't believe he got you. You get on your knees and you ask God for things. Fine, I get it. But believe that he's going to give it to you. And get off your knees. Believe you're worthy of such things. That he's heard the cry of your heart. That he knows that you need such things. And if you're on your knees asking him for something you don't need, then get off your knees. He's not a genie. He's going to give you only what's good for you. Don't be so entitled to have all the good things of this world. Here goes. Forgiveness and prayer. 25. And whenever you stand praying, and if you have anything against anyone, forgive them, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you of your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses. I told you, it's not a choice. If you want to walk in forgiveness, you have to give forgiveness. It doesn't matter what people do to me. I have to forgive you to be forgiven. Why? I may have not done what you did, but I've done my share. And most of the shit you do to me, I've done to others too. How can I receive forgiveness and not give it? This is your resentment being told right now. This is your hate. You can't ask God to bless you when you're cursing his people. It doesn't work that way, bro. Jesus' authority is questioned. 27. Then they came again to Jerusalem, and he said he was walking, as he was walking in the temple, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders came to him, and they said to him, by what authority are you doing these things? Meaning, who gave you the power to do these things? Which is what? Heal and preach? And that's where I stand. Who gave you the power to be a priestess? Who gave you the authority to speak on such things? Who gave you our holy scripture and said you could teach it? God. I was given authority by God. They don't like that because they had to get their authority by man. They had to work hard for their authority, and yet do not carry the prophetic gifts that I have. The ones that Jesus said were given to all. Am I the only one that received that message? I thought you knew the book. Why aren't you receiving God's gifts? Because you're not walking in the message. Bing, 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 bing. Let's move on. And they said to him, by what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority to do these things? That's it. Who chose you? God chose me. God chose me. But Jesus answered and said to them, I just want to point out, when Jesus spoke, it was in red. Red, red wine. I also will ask you one question. Then answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men? Answer me. Riddle me this, motherfuckers. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, if we say from heaven, he will say, why then did you not believe in him? But if we say from men, they feared the people, for all counted John to have been a prophet indeed. So they answered and said to Jesus, we do not know. And that's where you lie, because you know the truth is worse than a lie. If we tell them the truth, and that's it. And Jesus answered and said to them, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. If you don't know, then I don't know. God taught me something about that. He's all, play stupid. They want to play stupid? Play stupid. He taught me that with my neighbors. I had these stupid neighbors that just couldn't respect my parking spot. They would always have their friends and family, whoever came up to their apartment would park behind my car, and I couldn't pull out. And I'd always have to go. It was just, I'm tired of it. Why do I have to knock on your door all the time I need to leave my parking lot to get your people to leave? It went on forever. I used to get mad at them. I'd be kind about it. I'd scream at them about it. I'd throw fits about it. Finally, one day, let me explain how my parking lot was. So I had a garage. There's 4 garages here, right? I had a car inside of the garage, so I'd park my Mazda right here. Behind my Mazda is where these cars would park, because their apartment was right next to my Mazda. I lived upstairs from them. So normally I'd pull in my Mazda, and somebody would park behind me. They would park facing this way. One day, God said, no more. You park this way. I said, God, that's stupid. He said, no, stupid is as stupid does. Watch. They want to be stupid, you play stupid. So if I'm already parked there behind my spot, nobody else can. Now mind you, there's a whole open spot. I'm being a total cunt about this. There's my whole spot. I've decided to block anybody from parking behind me because I've had enough. And God says this is how I need to do it. And I go to her and I tell her in Spanish. I tell her, I have to be stupid like you. I've done everything to make you people stop. And God said, they're just stupid. So just be stupid like them. So I'm going to do this stupid shit so that you'll stop. I did it for about 4 weeks. And when I put my car back the other way, they never did it again. Because by 4 weeks, their friends and family had got used to parking on this side over by the fucking trash can and walking to the house. They stopped doing it because my car was always there. And if they did it again, I'd do it again. You're like, damn, that's some cunt shit. I was a very big cunt in my apartments. I built a fucking fence around my apartment and put cameras on so I didn't have to see them. They hated it. I built my own little cool little fucking oasis. I would put my pool up right there. I would fucking put up curtains and leave me alone and you're not part of my I would build my own sacred space and cut them off, and they fucking hated it. I was a total cunt. Trust me. I know what I was. I did whatever I could to keep my own fucking peace. I hated that place and the people that lived there. And I made the best of it I could, but I created enormous enemies there. Just because they didn't have respect for me. Just leave me alone. They couldn't. Every time I would come out, that bitch Lisa across the street or across the way would come out and sit there on her phone watching me. So I put up a fucking fence. And I put up cameras, and we watched her all summer. She would sit there and try to hang curtains so she could create privacy. And we watched her burn in the sun. She just wanted to be in my presence all the fucking time. And she hated that. And I put all these lights, and I would decorate it for every season. And all the kids would come over and play in the shade. I put fake grass down on my pavement to make it comfortable for kids. I put fucking, you know what I mean, the pools out. And I put all this great shit, dude. I didn't have much, but I fucking loved what I had, and I worked hard for it. But at the same time, it's like, the whole story is, sometimes you're going to have to match their energy. Being nice is going to get you taken advantage of. Being mean doesn't seem to get through. Sometimes you just got to be as dumb as they are. He taught me that. It was a weird lesson learned, but sometimes you got to play dumb. You got to be as dumb as them. And this is where Jesus shows you. They said, we don't know. He said, well, neither will I tell you what authority I do to do these things. If you don't know, I don't know. And that's where it is. It's like, okay, we're playing dumb. Let's play dumb, man. Let's play all the way dumb. I can be dumb. That's where it is. Let's see. So, I don't know. That's not where it was. I guess Jesus just wanted to talk, and that's cool. He got me in on some bullshit. But it is in the Bible. I'll see if I see it again. That this dark moon is part of dark prophecies. The end of time prophecies is the dark moon. That's all I was supposed to tell you about that. It's in the timeline. Rejecting victimhood, stop feeling fucking sorry for yourself and that everybody's out to get you. And that's what she plays, dude. She has a sense of paranoia that's beyond belief, and that's because she's guilty. And she thinks everybody's out to get her, and we're just being mean to her, and that, you know, nobody likes her, and, you know, poor me. Stop playing that game, bro. What else? There's all of this shit. Something for your offering. Vodka, wheat, bread, decorated eggs, bones, and skulls. When does Baba Yaga come into your life? For change, for improvements in your life, to better yourself, to be in control in all areas of your life, to be self-sufficient, and be able to make decisions without worrying about what other people will think. As a Sagittarius, I'm a little dangerous with this, where, you know, that Knight of Wands, where I will do some shit with no understanding of how this affects everybody else. I have a whole blinder to, I don't give a fuck. Deal with it. Those are your feelings. It can, and that's where the insensitivity can come from, but you have to have a super sense of fuck it at this point. They're going to hate you, bro. They're going to hate you. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Damn it, do what makes you happy. They're going to talk. They're going to spread fire. They're going to say you're this and you're that. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Because you're changing and they're not, and they don't know what to do with you because you're changing and there's no part in the, you're becoming a better person. Hey, I just want to point this out. I keep saying I don't like fucking patchouli, but there's my moteller, and so it was probably her that had me brew up that shit. Here's some shit for an invocation. And they said Germanum. I don't have any of that shit. A bloodstone? Nope. Just telling you, there's some stuff. Journal work. What is keeping you reliant on others? Where does your lack of confidence stem from? That's what I hit her with, bro. Why the fuck are you wearing fucking... Who the fuck... What the fuck? And then you look at her and it's just sad. She never had a mom to teach her how to be pretty. How to dress up. I get it. But at the same time, what the fuck are you dressing up for? She's going through a lot right now. She just lost the only mother figure. I get it, dude. I'm fully compassionate. And it's not that I'm being heartless. It's that you're not aware of yourself, bro. And I can't do this. The sugar coating is gone, bro. I'm going to blast you with the truth every time I see you, dude. Because you're not getting it. I told you 4 days ago when you went out to start this fucking mission that this was a bad look. Every day you come out looking worse and worse. And you come out looking like this, talking this stupid shit right now. And that's what I said. What was I trying to save her from? Whoever she really is, I guess. That's crazy to me. You're going to get on the bus. You're going to do all this work. And she runs around here calling girls project panties, which is my favorite saying. She's got some great sayings. Who's out there fucking, you know what I mean? Who's out there hooking? Looking. You know what I mean? Trying to look better. Are you really going to a fucking house appointment? Or you're just going to a different type of house appointment? Are you been projecting on people? I still have questions as to where the money's coming from in some of these households. Fair enough. I told you, it happens. Women, men alike. There's Russ, he's paying for pussy all day. He's paying for, Jesus Christ, he's paying for love. Anyways, let's see. The Motar and Pestle present itself. Okay. You suddenly, this is how you know she's around. You suddenly keep seeing chickens, live ones, ornaments, pictures, and so on. You crave eating chicken legs. That's so crazy. I told you it happened last week, bro. What else do you eat with barbecue? And then yesterday I had a chicken sandwich. I've been eating so much chicken, I don't even remember when the last time I had beef is. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Beef. Need some hamburger helper. A true American meal, right, Bobby? God! Or you could go over to Russ's house and have tuna helper. I love you, Holy Spirit! Okay, move on. Anyways, occasional sense of sandalwood or patchouli essence. We're gonna have to burn patchouli. I keep saying I don't like it, and we gotta burn it. Really? Do it. I have sandalwood, but obviously you do what you don't want to do. It's like it just keeps coming up. It just keeps coming up. Fine! At least it's not Nang Champa. Are you drawn to sit under a birch tree? Yeah, I sit under a lot of trees. Why? Because it's hot as fuck, dude. If you're not under a tree, that's why you gotta plant a tree, people. Plant a tree. Have you ever been outside? It's hot, and then you go over to the shade. Where did the shade come from? The trees. Plant a tree. We need a tree. And it's not just that. It doesn't just provide shade. It's a cool air. Mr. Plum's, well, all of Oklahoma sucks from the humidity. But you can go out into the middle of his garden, which is surrounded by oak and pecan trees that he planted him motherfucking self. Well, a few of them. And those trees provide shade, and, we put water and all of that. It provides not just shade, but they suck in all that humidity. So you can sit under these trees, and it's a cool breeze from the trees. You need to plant a tree, bro. If you do nothing else in this life, find a place where you could put a tree. It will give life after you're gone. It's so important, dude. That's where it be. It's like, oh, I just need some shade. You guys don't ride the bus, you would never know this, but it's like, oh God, it's hot on the street. You think about them in the winter, like, damn, they need a place. The same thing in the winter. The fucking trees catch the snow. You can, when you're in the rain, you can go under a tree while it's raining. And, it's not just us as humans, it's the animals. It provides a home and food and shelter and breath. And they can tell you secrets if you go sit next to them. They've been there forever. They've seen all kinds of shit. And they're connected to the ground. So there's this interconnection where they talk to the other trees. They can tell you everything. The trees. The motar or pestle presents itself. I showed you mine. You start noticing the change in the seasons. It hasn't happened yet. Ugh. You feel called to work with the bloodstone, tourmaline, or smoky quartz crystal. You experience great loss and devastating change at this stage of the dark night of the soul. It's one of the first stages. The first stage is actually, Fortuna. We went through Fortuna, so we're on track. Gaia, which is, Mother Earth and grounding. It's your foundation. Fortuna teaches you change. It just keeps happening. Everything keeps changing. It just nothing will stay still. That's what I said. It's like every time I try to grab onto something, it disappears in my hand. Nothing stays the same. It just keeps changing. So it learns you to embrace change. And then right here is to, the next stage is self-sufficiency. All right, so here's some more questions for your journal work. How would you feel if you were truly independent, excited, or fearful? Dude, today's a great day. My kids are gone. I'm fully independent. I forgot what it felt like to do this. People used to hate that. I used to take off and do all kinds of adventure shit all day. I'd be fucking off all day long. They hated me. And then at night I'd go drive for a couple hours and shit. They hated my freedoms. I have that freedom again today. It's my first day, so I'm just, taking it easy. But yeah, and as long as the cars, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna go climb a mountain. I'm going swimming. None of this weird shit you guys be doing. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I could go over to the lake. It's right there, dude. Just put on the bathing suit and go swim. Just sit there and just fucking toast all day. I can do whatever I want. Why? Because God's in charge. Let's see. List any negative experiences you've endured recently and look at the lessons that you were presented in each situation. What did you learn about it? And that's where my stud can come back and tell you what he learned. What was the outcome? How do you feel about each experience, how the lesson has been revealed? And that's where I can show you. Russ hasn't learned his lesson. He can't tell you what it feels like or what it really is. He's just trying to make a song and dance about it. Vanishing negativity ritual. What else? There's Baba Yaga crystals, bloodstone, garnet, smoky quartz, or tourmaline. Black tourmaline is usually what it is. I have a black obsidian, and I have a garnet. Our next stage will be, I fucking told you. This is where Bus has been for 3 years. Between here and hell. The next is hell. What's Hera? Jealousy, envy, obsession, inner child, guilt, shame, revenge, crying. Knee-jerking reactions or triggers, and outbursts, control, and revenge. What do you need for this? An old priest and a young priest. Hey, focus. That's like how my eyes work. Bergamot, Major, yellow. I never used really any of that. The waning. Yep, we're facing a dark moon. Sounds about right. Autumn and winter. Almost there. Sunday. Fun day. Fun day. This is what happens. This is what I can't be. I can't use my magic to get back at people. But I'd be tempted. Temptations. So we gotta watch out for that. In essence, I was like, oh, you want to play magical games? You want to play magical games? All you got to do is speak it. Hey, how's your butthole feeling? All right, I've been at it for an hour. It's not like I have anything to do with my day. Again, I am free to go. As far as the car, what happened with the car? I mean, they say I need to flush the system, ultimately. To heard it twice. It's got blocks in it. So, I mean, that's what's going on. So it's not really broken. It's just... I need to flush the system, and that costs a lot. Or I need to just wait till the system gets heated enough to flush itself. What is it? Shit. I guess. Shit. Pretty much. I saw the Kali. I'm gonna pull out a demon card. Why? Because you guys are facing demons. Which one? Which one? Oh shit. Barbados? Barboda. Interesting. I got a whole fucking feel right there. I got a calm feel, to be honest. A real calm one. Where's that book? Let's see. He was part of the Angelical Order of the Virtues. That makes sense. Where's the virtues? Right here. In the middle. The sun. But he is now a count and a duke of hell with 30 military units under his command. He appears as a hunter, and 4 kings sound their horns at his approach. I got a good feel off of this. Do you know them by heart? Not all of them. The ones that matter. Oh, I'm sorry. You matter too. So what do you mean I don't matter? Let's see. Colin de Plancy paints him as a woodland hunter or occasionally an archer with horns like the horned god of pagan religion. As many demons of the hunt, Barbados. He said it the other way. I can say Barbados, but it doesn't sound right. Barbados is accompanied by the sound of hunting bugles. For the invisible kings sound but 4 invisible kings sound his, perhaps for the 4 cardinal directions. Barbados is the Earl of Hell, and in command of 30 military units. He is another of the fallen heavenly host, once an angelical order of the virtues. Inspiration. In keeping with his appearance, Barbados, is said to be able to speak to and understand animals, and with their assistance he can locate lost or hidden treasures. Barbados is a skilled hunter and tracker, whose attention to nature and animal kingdom gives him the ability to track and find whatever he seeks. Divination. Focus on the closeness to the natural world and understanding of plants and animals. Well, I mean, yesterday after Consuelo looked at my car, there was nothing for him to fix. I gave him a couple bucks for wasting his time with me, just telling me what was up. Right after that, a hawk flew over us like it always does and went over that way. And I was like, look. And so the animal world, I show you, and that's why I pulled these. I was like, why did I pull these? I was like, they're not these ones. They're in my other one. I had my Isis deck. The animal world, they're spirits. Just like you are. And they have a spiritual meaning behind their form, the form they wear. Meaning, if you were, like all of us, we were given a purpose. You know what I mean? Each of them have a purpose in the animal kingdom. And understanding their purpose and why, a purposeful animal has visited you makes you understand yours. You know what I mean? So something like the turtle, the tortoise, was one of our last ones. Where is that little guy? It's over here on my Kanyen. You know what I mean? We talked about that in our reading, the tortoise avatar. You know what I mean? Each of them had meaning, depending on which part of the culture. And so when this animal comes to you, first off, you have to be outside for animals. Or you could take your ass to the fucking zoo and really feel the energy. Connect with, you know what I mean, these animals and get downloads. It's an energy exchange. While you're sitting there looking into this piece of glass, it's the same as, you know what I mean, staring at art. You're getting a download. You're getting an experience. You're having an otherworldly experience. It's an energy exchange. And that's what happens when you sit outside at the beach. You just stare into the beach. What are you staring at? Nothing. That's what I always say. I just want to be outside. Just stare into the nothing. But while you're out there, that's where you see the animals. They come and visit you. That's their world. You're part of their world now. You're back part of the world, to be honest. I think about people that work in the cities and live in the cities and never just look outside. I never get to see the things, you know, the animals that I've seen. You know what I mean? That eagle that day, that was amazing. They're great to see, but to be able to get that close, it's like nobody's even seen an eagle in their life. I'm over here feeding them. This is unbelievable. And speaking of, you know, Mike Stud, I know Mike Stud is the stag. Why? Something happened. I was going to the Garden of the Gods in the beginning of my awakening, and his music was playing when I looked up and I saw the longhorn sheep. I call it the stag. And so, you know, they have a significance. When you see a certain animal, it reminds you of something. It takes you somewhere in your conscious. So as they're talking about this, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of these cool videos. I've seen them on Facebook where the animals will flag you down. They need help. They're trying to show you they need help. I've seen a lot of them on Facebook. It was like this bear was trying to get them to help him because his cub was stuck. Or, you know, a lot of animals, you'll have birds that are acting crazy and they're trying to get you to follow them. They're trying to get your attention. They'll squawk at you. He's looking, you know, the fucking crows. They're talking directly to me. Nobody else is listening. Who else are they talking to? I hear you. I hear you. I see you. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's like, do you hear me? Do you know I'm here, Lilith? Do you know I'm here with you? I hear you. I don't know who you are, but I see you. And that's where it is who are they? What's the message? Well, sit there and see where your brain takes you. You don't try to understand what they're saying. You let your brain show you the vision behind this interaction. And that's what happens when you're, again, in the mountains, in your backyard, at a beach. You're given visions. Visions. I'll teach you how to travel through that. That's the third eye, and I mean, it's endless. You can see all time and space when you start accessing, you know, all that information. So again, it couldn't be a regular day without telling you to go outside. We all have to go outside. Today is probably not the best day. It's going to be 99 degrees for us. That's basically 100. That's over 100. We don't have humidity, so that's okay. That's just a little too hot. That's just a little too hot for comfort. Unless you're one of those hot girls, then go out there and, you know, fucking sweat your fucking crotch off. I have thunder thighs and a big ass. I don't want my underwear getting sweaty while I'm just trying to go outside. I had this experience, guys. I'd never experienced it before. I'm in Oklahoma, and all I did was sit down outside. I'm just sit there too long. And I go to get up, and my dress is covered in sweat. It's stuck up my ass and my whole back. And I'm like, I had to literally get up and pull it out of my ass. And then I go into the bathroom, and I pull my underwear down, and they're drenched. I'm like, this is disgusting. You live like this? I didn't do anything. I sat here and sweat. A puddle. I need a shower. This is gross. Then I started thinking about people that just be sitting around sweating like that. The girls in the fucking South that don't wear underwear and shit. How they just literally just walk around with their cooch out like that. Like, it's sweat outside of you. You don't have to do anything to be sweaty. It's called humidity. It makes your pores sweat. It makes, like, it's like a steam room, right? It's like a sauna. Like, your body sweats. That's why I had to stop wearing makeup. My face was sweating. It was making my makeup run down my face. It was weird. It's scary. Very fucking, you know what I mean? Very Harley Quinn. Didn't look right. Gotta take this all off. This is looking scary now. I would sit out there. I became a southern girl. I kept ice packs. That's what I taught everyone. I learned how to cool the body down real quick. How do you do it? Put them on the thighs. It's your most sensitive fucking area, bro. If you put an ice pack on your neck, it's going to take forever for it to cool the rest of your body. If you put it on your feet, it happens pretty fast. You can cool from the feet up, and that's why you can get hypothermia and shit like that. If you take an ice pack and you put it on your thighs, you will immediately cool off. You'll be actually shivering. So I'd sit there with ice packs in my thighs and a washcloth to wipe the sweat while I was just sitting out there. I hated God. I had to sit outside all day to get my information, but I'm sitting out there sweating it, which is actually probably that's how I lost a lot of weight, just sitting in a fucking sauna called Oklahoma. It was terrible, bro. In Colorado, we have fresh air, you know, so when the sun goes down, it's cold. Get a sweater. Everybody's cold. Get a sweater. Nah, bro, it didn't matter if the sun went down. It was still a fucking sweaty bitch. It was a sweaty bitch in the morning. You just got out the shower, it was a sweaty bitch. I don't understand it. I don't like the heat. I don't like the heat. I promised I wasn't going to deal with it, and I gotta honestly say, this has been, praise God, the fucking coolest fucking summer I've had to deal with. Praise God. When I first moved in here and they didn't have air conditioning, I thought I was going to die and I needed to move out immediately. Thank God they fixed the shit. I'm a psycho, bro. I can't deal with the heat. It literally churns the food in my stomach. Like, my stomach starts to hurt. Like, I get hot from outside and it boils inside. I don't know. I can't deal with it. I'm not that chick. I don't like it. I'm hot. I'm sweating. Oh, God. As far as cold, nah, bro. Bundle up. We can cuddle. We can put on a lot. I can't wait to put on my boots and my hoodies and my scarves and my this and my that. We can put on a lot of layers. You're going to see me out there like Cartman. All full of shit. Is that a girl or guy? It doesn't matter. So, we talked about a lot of great stuff. Go outside. Dark Night of the Soul. Initiations. Don't be fake. God, that was awful. I forgive her. And that's why fucking Jude was like, dude, I swear I was going to say something. Like, what are you doing, bro? And it's like, you're making us look bad. You're acting like we're fucking attacking you. You're looking stupid out here, bro. Like, you're so unaware of yourself. And that was Russ. I feel like nobody could touch me right now, is what he put in that post. And I'm thinking to myself, Royce, do you want to pick up the phone? Hey, Logic, you want to go wrap this boy up real quick? Allie, do you want to write a hook for this guy? Like, any one of us could touch you. We could shut you up real fast. And all those words, whose beat are you putting them on? Whose beat did you steal this time that you need to get cleared? Whose music did you sample this time? And what's the story, Russ? How you are so, you know, you're so fucking lyrically, or you're lyrically better than the fucking regular generation or whatever generation. How you work harder, that you're better and you're on top and you make all this money. You're gonna brag about what now? It's all about bragging. Look at me. You're an entire look at me. That's what happened to Lucifer when he got kicked out of God's grace. He no longer had all eyes on him. He had no power. He was all powerful in God's light. Then he had to spend the rest of eternity, as he does right now, trying to establish himself as powerful among men. He had no dominion. He does not. He rules over the darkness of men, which is what? Your insecurities and fears. Which means what? He's ruled by them as well. He wanted to fucking use free will, then he got casted to the place of free will. He was willing to do it, and now he's willing to do anything to feel that love again. It's not from his mother. It's a detachment from God. It's an absolute void inside of him that he tries to feel. And it's mostly all of you that you try to fill with stuff. Girls, guys, food, I don't know, fucking trips, fucking pictures, vacations, clothes, just stuff. Oh, I can't wait to have this. It's gonna make me feel so good. For how long? For how long did that last? You need to figure out how to feel good without this. And that's where this whole thing is stripping yourself down to find out what does make you feel good. Bobby said, you can't always do what makes you happy. No. A lot of what I do isn't about happiness. It doesn't make me happy to be strong. I'm pleased with myself that I had the power to face, to stand up for myself, but it's not a happy feeling when I have to stand up to everybody all the time. What I don't do is what doesn't make me happy. That's what this is about. We stop being part of the things that don't make us happy. It's not, oh, well, I'm going to go there because that makes me happy. No, I'm going to leave here because this doesn't make me happy. And that's what's funny. I'm seeing Jonica and Russ. They're not happy together, so they go everywhere else so they can pretend to be happy somewhere else. You guys are pathetic. I don't know. Whatever. Good luck to you and your guys' trials. Again, I've been through this so long that people will get through certain stages, but then they'll give up on themselves. He started with his boohoo childhood trauma, his 32 episodes of fucking, he's 3 fucking trauma albums in, and he swears that he's doing the work. But then you see him come out and you see what type of work he's doing. You see that it's just words, bro. Lots and lots of words about it. He's trying to make an album. He's trying to make himself rich and famous off of spiritual teachings. It didn't work for Will Smith. It's not going to work for anyone. They know it'll work for me. But the only reason it works for me is because I've actually done it. And the money goes back into the works of the people. So there's a purpose behind this. Not self-pleasing, but to please God and to take care of His people is the whole point of spirituality. You miss this entire thing. If God gave you what you wanted, Russ, He gave you that Grammy, you would be ungrateful and you would try to prove to everyone, you would show everyone that you're the best, and you keep spending the rest of your life trying to show everyone that you're that good. Like every other Grammy winner. Now they've got to show it over and over. I'm nothing if I don't get a Grammy, right, Marshall? It doesn't matter. Lewis won't be happy with his 8-time world championship. So he doesn't get it. It doesn't really give him true happiness, so he doesn't get it. Things you're going after are not really meant for you because they're not going to really bring joy to you. You're going after hell. You think this is going to make you happy, and God knows it won't, so He will not put that thing in your life. And that could be back to all of you fake-ass, punk-ass twin flames. You swear to God this person's going to... I showed you in my twin flames. None of them could make me happy. It's that I was happy on my own, and I wanted to share that happiness with them. You don't make me happy. I am happy. I don't need you to be happy. I was just trying to share my happiness with you. You motherfuckers need someone. You need them. You need them, bro. God's gonna give you what you need. That's it. How come God don't bring me someone? You don't need someone. You're just bored. This is very true. I'm just bored. But that's where it is. That's my most weak, my most vulnerable place for me to be codependent is when everything's good. You'll never find me when I'm going through bad things. I don't like that misery loves company. When I'm going through bad things, I want to go through it by myself. I want to be left alone. I want to figure this out. When things are all good, I want to find people to share it with. That's when I'm most likely to make a mistake, is when things are all good. I want to share it with unworthy people. How about that? How about that? And that's, is that a flaw? Nah, it just needs to be reeled in. As he said, don't be giving everyone all the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Just kidding. Don't give all of yourself. I can't hold back myself. When I give fully. I give fully. F-O-O-L. Act a fool. I give fully. So that's where it is you have to be careful of who you give to. You don't limit how much you give. Jesus wasn't going to hold back. He was going to give himself fully to whoever came to him and wanted to receive him. He wasn't like, okay, well, hold on here. I got to go give them some of my time now. I'm done with you. I got to go deal with them. Come with me. We're going to go over here and do some more. And that's where it is. Nobody left his side. Then we're going to leave his side after they got their question. They're like, oh, okay, well, I guess, come on, Forrest Gump. Come in with me then, huh? Before I knew it, I had 5,000 people, and they're all hungry. Fuck me too. God, what's for lunch? This is a good one. All over the place, like I am. Like you should be. Stop trying to hold it down. Start breaking it open. Alright, hey, I love yous. Happy Thirsty Thursday. I might send more to you. I don't know, I just feel like I'm done talking and I want to go chill now. I don't have nothing to do with my life other than what God says. So I'm gonna do what God says, and he said chill. Alright, laters. Bye.